Hi there, welcome to this sewing tutorial where I'm going to show you how to sew the blush case. This pattern is a functional and elegant accessory designed to keep makeup brushes neatly organized and protected. With a quilted exterior, a contrasting interior, protective flap, individual brush channels, and simple yet practical ribbon detail for closure, this case is perfect for everyday use, travel, or gifting. The pattern includes two sizes, a regular size designed to fit 12 brushes of different widths and a large size designed to fit approximately 24 brushes. And with this being said, let's go over the materials you will need to bring this pattern to life. First, your main fabric. For best results, choose a medium weight fabric that is stable and with a smooth surface that allows for even quilting. Avoid very lightweight, slippery, or loosely woven fabrics as they might shift during quilting. Contrasting fabric. As a design feature, the brush holder of the case is made with a contrasting fabric to add visual interest. This fabric should have the same qualities as the main fabric. Next, batting or padding. Choose a light to medium weight batting that is stable, low loft, and easy to quilt. Avoid very thick or overly lofty batting as it can create bulky seams and make it difficult for the brushes to fit neatly. Also choose a lightweight or medium weight fusible interfacing. The interfacing should match the qualities of the main fabric, so always test the interfacing on a scrap of your fabric first to make sure it fuses well and achieves the desired effect. Also, you're gonna need your regular sewing thread and you can choose a color that matches or contrasts your fabric color. And for closing the case, you're gonna need gross grain or satin ribbon. For reference, I'm using for my sample 3/8 of an inch, but you can adjust the width to suit your design preference. And finally, your PDF sewing pattern that you will find linked below in the description box. Before cutting, press your fabric with enough steam to pre-shrink them. Next, place the pattern on the wrong side of the fabric following the instructions listed on them, and cut along the outer edge of the paper since seam allowance is already included. Don't forget to transfer all markings such as notches, darts, and placement guides onto the fabric before removing the pattern pieces. You will need to cut the base case twice in main fabric, once in batting and once in fuse. The brush holder must be cut once in main fabric and can be cut also in fuse optionally if you want to add more structure. Finally, the flap pattern must be cut twice in main fabric and one in fuse. An extra fuse layer can be added if you are looking for a more structured flap. Apply fusible interfacing to the wrong side of the fabric of one of the base case pieces. And then repeat the same procedure for the flap and the brush holder if you decide to fuse that piece as well. Next, take the base piece without the fuse and place it with the right side facing up. Transfer your preferred quilting grid onto the fabric using fabric marking paper, a fabric pen, or a quilting presser foot as a guide. In this sample, vertical parallel lines are marked 1 inch apart. If you choose this quilting grid for best results, start marking from the center of the piece and work your way towards the edges to ensure balanced and evenly spaced quilting lines. Then place the batting layer underneath the marked base piece, aligning all edges. Secure the layers together using sewing clips. For extra control, you may baste around the piece before stitching. Quilt along the marked lines using a recommended stitch length of 3 or 3.5 millimeters. For better results, I strongly recommend to begin stitching at the center of the piece and work your way towards the edges to prevent puckering. Once the quilting is complete, for more control, baste around the outer edges to keep all layers in place for the next step. Keep in mind that multiple rows of stitching can cause the fabric to shrink slightly. So after quilting, carefully trim away any excess batting so all edges are even. Now place the two flap pieces together with wrong sides facing, aligning all edges. Sew along the outer edge using 1/4 inch of seam allowance, leaving the top straight edge open. Grade the seam allowance to reduce bulk and clip along the curved edge to release tension. Turn the flap right side out and gently push out the corners using a chopstick or a knitting needle. Press the flap well and then top stitch along the outer edge using 1/8 of an inch of seam allowance. Take the brush holder piece and fold it in half wrong sides together. Press to pre-crease and keep the piece folded. Transfer the dashed lines from the pattern onto the fabric. Keep in mind that you can play around with the width of the stitched channels to better fit your brushes as well. Place the brush holder piece on top of the base piece that was previously fused, aligning the raw edges and center notches and making sure the folded edge is facing upwards. Secure it in place with pins or by basting for more control, and then stitch along the marked lines to create the brush holder channels. You may run a basting stitch around the outer edges to secure the layers together and keep everything aligned for the next step. Once completed, this panel will serve as the interior piece, while the quilted panel will be the exterior piece of the case. Now, on the interior panel, we're going to place the flap right side up, aligning it with the raw top edge and centering it using the notches as a guide. Secure the flap in place with pins or by basting for better control, and next take the ribbon and fold it in half and then align the folded edge of the ribbon with the indicated notch on the base piece that you have in your pattern. To continue, place both base pieces together and check that both of them are the same size. As you know, the stitching that we have done in both may cause slight shrinkage, so trim as needed to balance both pieces to the same measurement. For a cleaner and more precise finish, you also might trim an additional 1/8 of an inch from the interior base piece only before assembling the case. Once aligned, place the two pieces right sides together and pin or clip around the edges. Sew around the perimeter using 3/8 of an inch of seam allowance, leaving an opening unsewn on the side to use as a turning hole. Next, trim the corners and grade the seam allowance around the edges, avoiding the seam allowance at the open. Then clip that seam allowance to release it and turn the case right side out through the opening. Gently push out the corners using a chopstick or a knitting needle. Fold the seam allowance of the opening inwards, aligning it with the stitched seam, and press well. Next, top stitch along the entire edge using 1/8 of an inch of seam allowance. This top stitching will also close the opening left for turning. Make sure that the flap is positioned down and the ribbon is out of the way when stitching. To prevent fraying, seal the cut ends of the ribbon by passing the edges near a flame using a lighter. And that's it. Your makeup brush holder is now complete. I hope you enjoyed sewing this project as much as I enjoyed creating it for you. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them below in the comments. I will get back to you as soon as possible. Don't forget to tag me on social media if you recreate this case. I would love to see your version. And last but not least, thank you so much for your support. It truly means the world for me because it allows me to continue creating for you. So thanks again from the bottom of my heart. I hope you have a happy sewing and I will see you pretty soon in the next project. Bye!